Are you in love?
I write from personal experience, and there's a lot of personal experiences on the album that have to do with being in love.
Grammy Award winner Alessia Cara on the VG show.
The moment after I won, I was actually, unfortunately, so sick. I ended up in the hospital.
What? What was the inspiration behind here? You go to a Brampton basement jam?
It was a Brampton basement jam.
And were you guys banging up on that?
I wasn't.
And I hear that you speak like fluent Italian. Like, how would you guys say like wagwan?
Wagwan?
That success you experienced so early, like having to replicate that.
So I think that'll always be there for anybody who's had some level of success early on.
But to live doesn't mean you're alive. Don't worry about
me and who I get what I desire.
It's my empire. And yes, I got it. I am the fire. I speak a holy water upon the
vampire.
Grammy Award winner Alessia Cara on the VG show.
Yeah, I love that intro. Thank you so much.
I mean, girl, you worked hard for that Grammy.
I did. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Do you still look back on that moment and like what goes through your mind?
That era of my life, but particularly that day or like that 24 hours, feels on one end like it was like 2 seconds ago, and then on the other end like it was like a million years ago. Like I remember the feelings like it was yesterday, but then like the details of it is just such a haze because, you know, that's something that I wanted my whole life, and the fact that it's actually, that it happened and that it is real is still something that I haven't really processed yet. It just feels like a blur. I don't know.
Which is so wild because I feel like Canadians watching, we were like yelling at the TV screen or whatever screen you're watching. I'd be like, go Alessia, go Alessia. Because yo, you were up against like some crazy heavyweights, like SZA was in that category.
Yeah.
Little Uzi Vert was in that category. Julia Michaels.
Yeah. So many, like all people that I loved and admired. So there's a part of me that's like, I hope I don't win.
But did you think you were gonna win? Like, what was going through your mind?
No, I did not think I was gonna win at all. Like, I did not think I was gonna win. Because you just don't think it's something that is gonna happen to you, right? Like when you have grown up seeing something on a screen for so long, and it just kind of becomes like an idea, but it's just something that you almost feel like is just not attainable, or you just don't expect it to ever happen to you. Like it's something you can't explain. So on my life, I did not think it was going to happen. When they said my name, I was like, I think I froze. I don't even remember.
You did. We watched it back.
Yeah, no, I did. I was like, oh, like you can hear my voice shaking. I'm like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. But yeah, it was wild. Like, you know, to be up there and just see in the audience, like all these people you admire too. And you're just like, what am I doing in this room? Like, it's so wild. But yeah, to get all the love from Canada is amazing. It's so
did you and the other noms, like, did you guys talk after? Did you guys party after? Like, what was the moment after you won?
The moment after I won, I was actually, unfortunately, so sick. I ended up in the hospital.
What?
Yeah.
After the Grammys?
After, or was it the morning before the Grammys or after, or maybe both?
Yeah.
I was so sick for that like 48 hours. And I was in the hospital. Yeah, I was just in so much. I just had like a whole bunch of health issues. I'm fine. Everything's good. Yeah. But so I didn't get to really celebrate because I was just like so sick.
Oh my God.
Unfortunately. Yeah. So what I remember is just freaking out, being so excited, celebrating like in the venue with my family, and then going right home and just like being so sick. Unfortunately.
Oh my God.
I know, so no partying for me, but it's okay. I guess it was on brand at the time because I had Hear the song. I was like, hey, this is very on brand, I guess.
That's so on brand for you because
yeah.
Listen, that was my track too.
Right next to the boy who's throwing up because he can't take what's in his cup no more. Oh God, why am I here? Oh, yeah.
What was the inspiration behind Here?
The inspiration behind Here was a real high school party that I went to. It was a friend from school was having like this like basement party, as you do in high school, you know, just very whatever.
And you grew up in Brampton.
I grew up in Brampton.
So did you go to a Brampton basement jam?
It was a Brampton basement
and
jam.
were you guys banging up on that HVAC too?
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't. I was just like, and it was funny because I was like, okay, my friends are gonna go, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And you think because you know the people there that it's gonna be fine. But I was at the age where like I was super sheltered. I didn't drink at all. I didn't smoke. I didn't really dance. I was like too shy to do anything. So the whole time I was like, I feel so uncomfortable among my peers, and I don't know what to do. Like I feel so uncool. I don't know what to do with myself. So the next day I went into the studio because simultaneously while I was in school, I was like, you know, I got this amazing opportunity to work with this production company called EP Entertainment, and I was like writing with this guy Sebastian Cole, and I went in the studio and they were just asking like, you know, how was yesterday? What did you do? How was your weekend? Whatever. And I was like, well, I went to this party and I felt so uncomfortable, and I started just kind of listing the events of this party, and it turned into the song from there. They were like, this is what we should write about today, and I was like, okay. And that song was really cool because I felt like it was the first time that I realized you could really make a song out of anything, and you can write about things that aren't, you know, just about love. You could write about being uncomfortable. You could write about literally anything and write a narrative of like something that actually happened from personal experience.
How old again were you when like that song came out?
When it came out, I was, I think 18 or 19.
Jeez, so
I think
like
19.
you were just getting into adulthood.
I was 18. Yeah, I was just getting into adulthood. I just graduated from school.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I was gonna do with my life. And I just had these songs, and yeah, I didn't know if anything was gonna come of it. And so we put that song out on SoundCloud. I had just gotten signed. I was like, I don't know what's gonna happen. I didn't even know what being signed meant. I was like, I don't know what this means, but I think it's good. And so we put up the song on SoundCloud, and it like blew up.
When was that moment that you realized like, holy shit, like this is a hit?
I don't know. I think like just over time, I just realized, because you don't really know, like even you can see like the amount of streams and you can understand like, hey, that's pretty crazy. But then you start getting recognized. Like I was getting recognized on the street, and like that was kind of like, okay, this is something different. And you know, when you start.
Were you like walking like through Bramley City Center and people were like, oh my God?
Quite literally, yes. It was literally Bramley City Center. I'm not kidding. Like talk about Brampton. This is like so Brampton of me to say this. I was at BCC. I was visiting my friend Liv at work. Yeah. Because she worked at, I think either American Eagle or at the Area at the time. And so I went there to go visit her as I would normally do. And people started following me. And then more people started following me. And then people started chasing me.
In the mall?
In the mall. And I was like, what is happening? I was so freaked out. I'm a short person. I'm a small person. I'm a shy person. I was freaking out. And that's when I realized, okay, like this is not normal. Like my life is going to be different from here. So that was kind of a trip. Like that moment was very weird, like literally being chased.
How do you handle that type of success and fame so young?
Honestly, like I just kind of like sheltered myself and kept good people around me and kept my head down and just tried to work really hard and not think too much about it. But I think there was a part where it did really get to me because I was so young and again, being so shy and coming from, you know, a life that was like super simple, you know, school, home to now this like complete 180 was a real challenge for me. And like, it was really hard. I didn't love it. I mean, I loved it and I was grateful for it, but there was a part of me that was very overwhelmed by it. I didn't really know how to handle it, you know, because how do you handle that? Like being a normal person to suddenly having people tugging at you on the street and taking photos of you. And you're just like, what is this? You know, you feel kind of like a zoo animal or something. Did
it give you anxiety or something like that?
For sure, yeah. I developed a lot of anxiety. I found that I started becoming like so anxious that I almost subconsciously trained myself to not look at people in the eyes anymore because I was scared that if I did, people would recognize me. Yeah. So I would walk around like this. I would like go to restaurants and order my food, not looking at people. Like I like stopped learning how to make eye contact with people because I was so subconsciously like always trying to keep my head down. It was so weird. I feel like now it's so much better. I've gotten to a place where I think first of all, we're in a world now where people don't really care as much almost because everybody's kind of, there's so many people in the public eye, nobody really cares, and things have kind of dimmed a little bit in a good way, and I've been able to sort of live a normal life now, so I'm very grateful for it.
I can't walk right through you, talking to a dead man.
You're Italian.
I am Italian.
Yeah, and I hear that you speak like fluent Italian.
I do speak fluent Italian,
Chat to me, Bella.
Chat? Okay.
That's Italian?
Bella,
right?
yes,
Okay.
yes. Okay, siamo qui. What should I say? Give me something to say and then I'll tell you.
Like how would you guys say like wagwan?
Wagwan? How would we say that? Well, okay, I'll give you something. So there's a dialect where my family's from. It's called Calabria, the region that my family's from. And there's a dialect. And so you say, "Como llamo?" Como llamo. It sounds like it's like an Asian language.
Yeah.
So
Como llamo?
Como llamo.
Como
Yeah.
llamo.
If you say that, that's kind of like wagwan. Como llamo.
Okay, como llamo.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey.
You're speaking Calabrese. That's a very niche thing.
And which part of Italy is Calabrese?
It's the south. So like
right in the boot?
The toe of the boot.
Oh, the toe of the boot.
The toe of the boot,
oh,
yes.
Okay,
yeah.
so you guys are the ones stomping on shit.
Yeah, no, really, yes, we are. Yeah, stomping on the grapes, it's very, very, to make them, literally stomping on grapes. Yeah.
You know what's amazing? A few weeks ago, we had Roy Woods.
Oh, amazing.
Sitting in this exact chair.
Yeah,
and
sick.
Him and I, we were talking, we're like, it really is fascinating how much talent comes out of Brampton.
It's crazy because you don't even realize it, and then people start listing names, and it's like, that's wild. You don't even realize until you hear all the names of people that are from Brampton. It's crazy. Even Michael Cera. Did you know Michael Cera's from Brampton?
No, I didn't know Michael Cera.
He's from Brampton, which is so wild. So many people from Brampton. It's so cool. Tristan Thompson, too, not just in music.
Jay and Trey.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Jay and Trey.
Yeah.
They are cousins with someone that I went to high school with, so I kind of knew them kind of in high school. Not
Tory
very loosely.
Lanez.
Tory Lanez.
I mean, if you like him or not. I mean.
Yes. He's still a successful person from Brampton.
He
so,
is.
yes.
And you know what? Like, I wish him the best.
We wish everyone
Yeah,
the
we
best.
wish everybody the best, right?
Yes.
But what do you think is in the water in the 905?
I don't know. That's a good question. I really don't know. I really don't know what it is. We do have like quite a reputation, don't we, in Brampton? I don't know.
I feel like, a lot of people try to, hate on Brampton. I grew up in Brampton myself. I had a moment.
Are you Bramptonian too?
Yeah. Well,
I didn't
used to
know
be a Bramptonian,
this.
yeah, but I had a moment.
Oh, you had a moment.
Yeah.
So what do you think about it? Do you feel like it's properly rated? Because people say, do you think Brampton is underrated? I feel like it's properly rated.
My philosophy is this. It was so boring growing up that it forced you to be creative.
Yeah, that's. I think that's.
You know what I mean?
True,
like somebody
yeah.
who's born, like I was born in Toronto, moved to Brampton. Like my mom moved us up to Brampton, and it was
That's
such
so
a
true.
Stark change. You're like,
yeah, you're like, I gotta get out of here.
oh
I gotta
my
do
God,
something.
everything looks the same.
Yeah, that's
I mean, the
kinda
people
true.
were diverse, yeah, but
Of course.
there's no city. Like you could maybe see the tip of the CN Tower depending on where you were, and you're just like, damn, I want to get back to the city. So it's just like, I don't know, that forced like a bit of creativity. That's my
True.
philosophy.
That's very true. Yeah, I was gonna say something along those lines. I do think it kind of forces you to be creative because you have a lot of time on your hands.
Yeah.
And yeah, there is like a sense of just like filling your time, and you have to be creative with your time, I think, when you live in like a suburb like that. I mean, it's still like kind of a city. And I think now it's evolved definitely, but especially when I was growing up and probably around the time you were there too. Like it's such a suburb, there's not much to do, and so you kind of have to get creative, and you get creative with your friends. Like I remember in school we would like make up songs and raps and try to just like make.
Do you remember any of the raps from when you were younger?
I do not at all. We were just like joking and being stupid.
Oh,
but
I was gonna ask you if you
not
could
good
rap
at it.
something for us.
No, I'm not a good rapper.
Okay.
I could try, but it's not gonna go over well.
Are you a Nicki fan?
I am a Nicki fan. I was a Barb in high school. I still am, but I was definitely a hardcore Barb.
What's your favorite Nicki song?
Oh my gosh, are we talking older? Are we talking like newer?
Well, you're speaking to a Barb as well, so you can hit me with any era.
There's so many that I love. Okay. I do love. Do you know? Right, you see right through me, right through me. Like
How
I love
do
her.
you do that shit?
Can I say shit on here? How do you do that? Okay,
Yeah.
so that one, I definitely love. I love her ballads, but then I love like her also niche kind of songs. Like I love her song with Lil Wayne, Knockout. Do you remember that one?
Yes.
And then her verses, like her monster verse, like all her legendary verses are amazing. Anything on Pink Friday, Pink Print, like all of that, I loved.
If there's one verse like you would want to rap, like you were at karaoke.
Well, obviously, okay, Super Bass, but that's like obviously kind of the obvious answer, but Super Bass for sure. Your Love, those verses are pretty legendary. Moment for Life, pretty legendary.
Ooh, I fly with the stars in the
sky.
sky. I am no longer trying to survive. I believe that life is a
prize,
but to live doesn't mean you're alive. Don't worry about
me
and who I
get what I desire.
It's my empire, and yes I got it. I am the umpire. I sprinkle holy water upon the
vampire.
Jeez!
Wow. Biblical. That is biblical.
No, it's so biblical.
It is like
it's
Bible
such an anthem.
Proverbs.
It's
It
such an anthem.
It is such an anthem. I love her.
But you've created anthems too. Like Scars to Your Beautiful is a like girl's anthem. Like,
Thank you.
Even a guy's anthem too.
There's a hope that's waiting for you in the dark. You should know you're beautiful just the way you are.
You know the impact of that song, right?
Thank you. Yes, I mean, it's wild to think about, but it's been amazing to see that song has like traveled and stood the test of time, and it's so cool to like see, you know, people kind of growing up and being in that phase of their lives and like kind of rediscovering that song every year. It's so special, you know, like even though I was like basically a kid when I made it, and like hearing my voice back, I'm always like, oh, I wish I could re-record it now because I would have probably done it better. But I think the sentiment of it is like so special that I don't even care. Like it's just like it is what it is, and I love it, and it'll always be one of those songs that I'll be so happy to sing forever because I think it makes people happy, and I'm so glad that it has a space for people, you know, and
so many people have said like that song saved their life.
Yeah, which is incredible to think about. Like wild to think about.
And here you are ready to release some new music on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
And the name of your album, honestly, okay, you know how everybody has that one word where they just struggle to pronounce it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah. So love and hyperbole.
Yes.
Okay, I had to literally put it phonetically out here because I was with producer Hope and we're both.
It's so funny to hear
It's
people
the one
say
word
it.
that everybody struggles to pronounce.
I know, which I love. It's kind of funny. That's kind of, well, it's not why I named it that, but I was like, this would be kind of fun to like see how people pronounce it. And I've been doing interviews with people around the world, and it's so interesting to hear everybody's like take on that word. I love it. It's the best thing
because
ever.
I'm like hyperbole.
It's hard. It's a tongue twister. So many people say hyperbole.
Yeah.
Hyperbole. That's like a very common thing. People are like hyperbole. But yeah, I love it.
Isn't it obvious? Until we got enough. Isn't it obvious?
Talk to me about this, this new body of work. Like, are you in love? Are you dating?
You'll have to listen to the album to really find out. I'm sorry, I can't divulge this information. I will say this. I write from personal experience, and there's a lot of personal experiences on the album that have to do with being in love. So I'll let you fill in the blanks. There.
And talk to me about like your transition of sound, right? Because like you're in a whole obviously new era of your life now.
For sure. Yeah, definitely. I feel like I'm in a place where I just want to try new things and new sounds. And when I was making this album, I was just ready to like throw paint at the canvas and just try different things without any pressure. And just kind of like, I don't know, just like improvise and do what felt right without like having any expectations or having like a set idea of what I wanted it to sound like, and just seeing what would happen. And I'm really glad that I did that, because I feel like I stumbled on a sound that really feels like my own, but also feels like a collection of all the music that I love to listen to, from like 60s all the way to 90s. And like, it has that kind of feel to it, but it still feels very much like me. So it's like a happy medium of all.
What is one thing we don't know about you?
Ooh, one thing you don't know about me. I love to cook. Maybe that's something people don't know
Oh, you
about
can
me.
cook?
Because that's relatively new. I would say that I can cook, yes. I don't know if I can cook well. I can cook.
What's your dish like you like to make?
I love to make so many different things. I'm trying to think of like one. I love to make tiramisu, which is a dessert.
Yo, we're going over to Alessia's house.
That's really good.
That's
I love
one of
to
my
make, like,
favorite
chicken.
desserts.
Really?
Yes.
I'll make it for you.
With a nice espresso.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, it doesn't take a lot of cooking to do that, so that's not a good example. But I love to make like chicken. I love to work with like meat and potatoes. I love to do different pastas.
Yeah.
I love to just like do a bunch of different things.
That's your Italian side coming out.
I think it is, yeah.
Which I have to ask you because, since you are Italian, we have to know from you, like here in Toronto, like what are your top 3 favorite Italian food spots?
Ooh, this is so hard. I mean, in no particular order. I'm probably going to miss some good ones, but I'm going to say Giulietta. Really good. Great Italian. It's like a modern Italian restaurant. Delicious. Inoteca Sociale. Delicious. I like Barbuca, too.
Okay.
Barbuca's good. It's a little more modern cuisine again. That's really good. There's so many. There's so many that I'm going to forget that I'm going to wish I said. But those are some that I really love.
Do you have a favorite Italian dish?
Ooh, yes. I have a few.
What's your ultimate fave?
I'm a like bolognese girl. I'm a, or as the Italians say, ragu. Or I love penne alla vodka. I love making that, like a rosé sauce.
Yeah.
Always delicious. What else do I love? I love everything. Pizza, obviously. There's so many good pizza spots too. Badiali, north of Brooklyn, great pizza spots. What about you? What are some in the city that you like?
Well, I've always wondered this because so my background is Jamaican.
Oh,
And Jamaicans, like, we have to do like a little Rasta pasta situation. Like, we really just do the most with the pastas. So I always wondered, like, how do Italians feel like, when you see like people just putting whole different spins on your dishes?
I personally love it. I think it's so fun because I feel
You don't look at it as an abomination.
No, I don't think so. I think it depends what they're putting in it. I feel like Jamaicans are good.
Go
You guys
into
are
pasta. Well, Jamaicans can cook, so we'll leave.
That's
Jamaicans
what I
out of
mean.
it.
That's why I feel like Jamaica. You guys can handle it well. I feel like I trust the Jamaicans with making pasta. Your cuisine is delicious. I feel like, I don't know, like I've seen ketchup being put in.
Ketchup in pasta?
I've seen that happen. That's not something that I'm okay with.
I'm not okay with that either.
No, that's not okay for me. I don't think ketchup really belongs on anything, to be quite honest, other than French fries or like a burger or hot dog, like anything like that. Anything that you don't have at a barbecue, I don't think should have ketchup on it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
But anything, I mean, it's really hard to mess up a pasta, I would say, unless it's like something like that.
I see everything in slow motion, like a movie scene. All the heavens suddenly
what is your dream date? Like, what does that look like?
My dream date.
Yeah.
Well, not to keep mentioning food, but
Yeah.
I'd love to go out and eat, especially in Toronto. There's so many good spots. So I would say a nice. Okay, maybe I'm gonna map this out. So I would say, before eating, going to a nice natural wine bar. There's a few great ones in the city.
Red or white wine?
Oh, honestly, I'm gonna say orange. A little curveball. Have you ever tried orange wine?
I haven't.
It is so good. I love orange wine.
Okay.
So a nice natural orange wine. Then go get a nice meal, maybe a pasta, maybe a nice little steak. And then like a nice walk in the park. Are we talking like evening or are we talking daytime? Because daytime date would be different, like getting a nice coffee, going for a walk with my dog.
Oh, wow. Well, what is the best date you've ever been on?
The best date I've ever been on? Honestly, it was probably just that, like a natural wine bar, and we ate delicious food, and we just talked and laughed, and it's very simple. I'm an easy sell. I'm not very difficult to impress.
Are they still in the picture?
You're trying to get me. You'll have to listen to the album to find out. You tried to trick me there, but I got it.
And I was so close.
You'll have to see. Almost. You got me.
Damn it. Well, Alessia, honestly, we wish you all the best.
Thank
Congratulations on the new body of work.
Thank you so
I've
much.
listened to it, and I can tell you it's bomb.
Oh,
Like,
thank
it's
you.
fire. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I love this
appreciate
new
that.
sound.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That
You have
means
me
a lot.
hooked. So
Oh,
make
good.
sure you stream it, listen to it wherever you listen to your music. And Alessia Cara, all the big things for you, my girl.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks for joining me.
Thank you.
Hey, it's BG, and I want to know, what do you think about what you just watched? Make sure to drop your thoughts in the comments below, but also make sure to check out even more great content like this video and this video over here. And if you haven't subscribed to the Brandon Gona Show, do so right now by clicking this button right here.